Welcome back to this episode of the Corde Snell Show. I'm the guy. We're back. Hey, how we doing, guys? It's been a few weeks. Sorry, we got to take a little break, but hey, sometimes it happens. Life comes, together. We got to take breaks here and there. But I'm here, and we back at it. What's up, Jared?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
What's up, Noah?
What's going on, Corde?
Hell yeah. For those wondering what I'm wearing my homie Adam Ray's merch. Dope as hell. Dr. Phil, amazing comedian. We both just saw him last night, me and Noah. We didn't even know we was in the same building. We both went to the second show, saw him. Noah, what you talking about the show?
I thought it was great.
Man, so good, right?
He's so fast.
So fast. That's what I was like watching the whole time. I'm like, as a guy who has normally high energy, I'm watching a guy with high energy and great writing, like just being able to go through it. And he didn't fall off at no point in time throughout the entire show. So it was like set up joke, set up joke, set up joke, set up joke. And I think he did. Probably went long because on the second show you can go long, right? So he probably did like 55 minutes, stuff like that. And I was like, yo, this is dope as hell. I didn't even realize by the time I eventually left that it was like 12:30. Because I think I don't even know what time the show ended because I was just having a good time and then hanging out with him. Like I know him too. So it was like cool to see him. He recognized me when I when I walked up, right? And it's always super weird because sometimes like I'll meet headliners and I'm usually like a cool guy and I usually like speak to him and try to like become like friends with him, right? And then afterwards I'm just thinking like, damn, will they remember me? Like probably not, but it's cool. I was like, I'm not a big name or whatever. So I was like, next time I see him at the show, hopefully he might get recognized. I probably won't, but it's whatever. I'll still go out there and support. And then I remember walking up because he was doing a meet and greet outside because they was filling up the show for the next one going in. And then he's like saying like hi to people. He's like taking pictures, stuff like that. And he was like, oh shit, what's up, man? How you doing? Hey, we'll talk real quick in a second. I was like, oh, Stabby, he remembers me. Like, oh, this is dope. Like kind of a, hell yeah. It was like a dope little cool thing. So yeah. And then we saw a guy, I forget his name, but he did stand up for the very first time. He had wanted to do stand up. He got up on stage and Adam let him do stand up for the first time. Dude was super funny, especially for your very first time. Funniest part because dude was in a wheelchair, and then they wanted to bring him up on stage, and then he got up and walked out of the wheelchair, and then Adam was like, "Yo," he's like, "I didn't expect that happening." He was like, "Oh, I just got a wheelchair because it's just easier," and he was like, You can walk pretty far. And he said he had some kind of disease, stuff like that. So it's kind of hard for him to walk consistently. But it was hella funny because he got up on stage, started cracking jokes to me. And he was like, what's your name, dude? He was like, I just want to let you know, Adam, this ain't no Make-A-Wish dream. And everyone was like, yo. Adam was like losing it to me. It took him because he was laughing. He had to bring it back. He was just like, dude, you haven't tried comedy before? Like, you sure? Because like his timing was like super good. Like for a guy who hadn't tried comedy, he was super funny, and he seemed like one of those funny guys who probably just says like random funny stuff like off the top of his head all the time. And then I was like visualizing it, and I'm just like, yo, is this dude's start to his like a successful career? Because like a homie like Adam Ray brings you up. Like Adam's like doing very well, pretty big, and then I bet you they're probably gonna clip that up from that night, and then probably if he got his Instagram, tag him, and then just start the launch here of like a new comedy career. And that was always hella dope, especially as your first time going up. Also, the show was sold out. Shout out to Adam, 5 sold out shows at the SF Punchline. Great, dope weekend. Merch is amazing, and giving young people, I won't even say comedy because he just tried it his first time. So young people who want to try comedy, their first start. And what a better situation than a sold out crowd where the guy who you're a fan of brings you up and lets you get some time and then kind of like kicks the shit with you and goes back and forth with you. So it was hella dope to see, like just a great overall guy. And then the show was amazing too. And then me going to shows like this, I'm starting to like recalibrate like my top 5, right? Because I told you I saw like Lil Rel and in Austin, Texas when I went. And he was already in my top 3. Like I was like Ali Sadiq, Lil Rel, and Rowan Jr. No in Pacific order, but I saw Lil Rel that night, and I saw Ali Sadiq about like 2 weeks before that. And Lil Rel was like top guy for me. And then now I'm starting like I gotta incorporate white guys in there too, also like females as well. Because I was like Adam Ray, top 4. Like I'm just like enjoying the show, having a great time, even though I know I'm just still like hella funny. Like, if people always ask me as a comedian, like, who's some of your favorite comics? I'm just like, I'll say it, like Lil Rel, Ali Sadiq, Rowan Jr., Adam Ray now. And it's just funny as hell. You see a bunch of dope, funny guys, and it's just people who like I normally gravitate towards, and I can always watch all the time. Also, I guess 5 would be Nate Bargatze. Like I watch Nate's stuff all the time. Clean comic. I remember I watch a lot of his stuff on Netflix sometimes just to get me like in a funny comedy mood, and it helps me write better. But then I watch him because like his cadence and my cadence aren't the same. He's a clean comic. He's also white, so I'm just like I'm not gonna pick up the same mannerisms as he does because like our minds, cultures, and everything is different. Versus if you watch your favorite comedians a lot of times, especially if it's like a black comedian, sometimes you pick up their mannerisms. Sometimes you kind of do like little stuff. Like I remember I was watching just a few homies sometimes, and I started holding the mic like them. And I was like, oh snap, I gotta stop. I gotta stop watching this like little funny story. This like one funny thing. I was like, why am I holding the mic? Like I was like, I've been watching such and such story too much, and it's like hella funny. You just pick it up like subconsciously. But like Nate, I'm just like, am I gonna be clean more? Which I want to do too. Like I want to put out like a dry bar special just for my grandma to watch it, because she was like, hey baby, proud of you, love you, keep doing amazing shows, but I won't come to your show unless you stop cussing. So that's always like a funny thing. And it's weird too because I don't cuss a lot of times, right? Like I remember I bleep myself out sometimes in random conversations, or I try to keep it clean for like the most part just because that's me. And it's always weird, like when I get on stage I cuss more, kind of just like this is like my freedom to do what I want, and I kind of put like more emphasis on it. But I don't go crazy with it. Like I'm like bleep this like every other second. So it was like super cool. But who are some of you guys like favorite comedians? I'm gonna start with you, Jared, and I'm gonna go to you. You know,
I feel like Noah has his on the top of his head. I think I need a second to think.
Okay.
Yeah. So my top ones, like when it comes to current comedians, I would probably say like Andrew Schultz, Sebastian Maniscalco, Josh Wolf.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe Coy.
Yeah.
Those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. I really like them a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
When it comes to like past comedians like Mitch Hedberg, Stephen Wright.
Come on, yeah.
And then like Sam Kinison and then Dice Clay. Like those guys.
Definitely. Like so like dope guys as well. Also like I think like us, I don't pick guys at the very top. Like everybody could say Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Chris Rock. And I'm like, those are the easiest goats to go to. Like those are the goats. Everybody can say that. That's why I say like Ali Sadiq, Roy Wood, because those are the guys who are like aren't GOAT status, haven't been in the mainstream like forever. Like Ali Sadiq is now doing a theater tour, so he's like really becoming like up there kind of a thing. Like people say Cat Williams, he does nothing but stadiums and things like that. So I'm like more like club guys or guys like pushing up into theaters, because like Roy Wood Jr. just did a theater tour. I think Lil Rel's about to start one too. So yeah, or whenever he goes back on the road. But also I heard his new stuff, and I was like, dude, this dude is a beast. Like this dude is a monster on stage. What about you, Jared? You good now? Or
yeah, I had to think about it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I have to shit so bad too, so you probably have to take over here in a second. But I'll answer this, and then you're gonna need to switch places with me.
Yeah.
So when it comes to straight like stand up, because a lot of the people I like are like actor, comedian, like Eric Andre. Love everything he does. Makes me laugh a lot. Tim Heidecker from Tim and Eric, like these guys do stand up. I wouldn't say I like their stand up the best, but like God, like they'll make me laugh with so much stuff.
Yeah.
Stand up. It's like, to me, I really like Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And I like Shane Gillis mostly because of the topics they tackle. They talk about like I think no one knows how to self-deprecate in like no white dude knows how to self-deprecate funnier than Shane Gillis right now. His whole bit about making fun of his girlfriend's ex-boyfriend being a Navy SEAL starts with he's like, I like talking shit about my exes, or about your exes. I like it. I know it's not good. I like it. I think that's really funny. I like Bill Burr. Like he's like the archetypal married man.
Yeah.
Like he's just not afraid to be like, yeah, I shouldn't think this, but I do. So for me, it's like that. Mitch Hedberg I like a lot because his style was so different. But again, like I love Casey Rocket just because it's like I have no idea what he's gonna do next. It's like it's almost not stand up. It's like a weird one man show.
Got you.
I liked Bo Burnham back in the day when he was blowing up because it was like this is so different. But all right, I need you to come over here because I'm about to blow. Sorry guys.
Too funny, man. But yeah, like I remember like Louis C.K. Got canceled, stuff like that. But I remember I was in Louis C.K. like huge, like in 04, 05, 06. And then when Louis C.K. like finally like blew up, I think it was like 2011, 2012. And at that point I was off him by now. I felt like I feel like a hipster. Like, like I liked him better when he was doing indie stuff. Like that was, like that was me. Like now he was like dope comedian. I remember like when he had the show Louie. Because I remember he had another show on HBO. It was called Lucky Louie. I love that show a lot. Hella people said they didn't, but to me, I loved it because it was like on HBO. It was cussing. It was just overall funnier. Well, for me, Louis show probably definitely added a lot more stuff because he didn't have like a set like that. It was more like a reality based kind of show. Like you can walk around, like they were setting up the cellar. They was like doing more individual stuff like that, and it was like. Oh, like this definitely has like a bigger budget. It's more like a different space because the HBO show, it was just like a set. It was like kitchen, bedroom, homies, like hallway. And it kind of felt like a 90s sitcom. I'm not gonna lie to you. It felt like a real 90s sitcom. And I think it lasted 2 seasons and then got canceled. But I thought it was still I thought it was still a success. And then that's why I learned what the C word was. I didn't know. I didn't know what that was because, like, the black community, we don't say the C word. Like, we don't say the C word. I don't want to say it, but like, you guys know what it is. Cute. Now playing. We don't say that at all. And then so I didn't learn or hear it until I was 18. I remember going in my mom and dad's room and asking them what the C word means, and they're just like, it means this, and I'm like, nah, it doesn't sound right. My mom was like, no. That's what it means. And I'm like, why have I never heard that before? I was like, because that's white culture. We don't say that. You know, just like how, like, she's like, white women call each other bitches. Like, you can't call a black chick a bitch. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Still confused and still, like, wasn't until later. And then that's why I started hearing it more and more, like, some more movies I watch, like, white-esque movies and things like that. Or I start hearing it a lot. I heard, like, people in the UK use it a lot. Just, like, straight, hard use it. And I was just like, oh, this is why. I was like, this is white people use this, but UK white people really use it. I was like, and I'm not European. I don't live in the UK. I was like, so that makes a lot more sense. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Definitely get that now. That's super cool. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, boys.
Yeah, it's all right, man.
I'm leaking out of both ends. This is not good.
It's cool. You sick or something?
Oh, always.
Okay, yeah. That's super funny. But so going back to Adam Ray, seeing the show, like I've been meaning to tell you guys this. Like, you guys are comedians. You guys go to Tommy T's all the time. Do you guys go to Tommy T's for shows often?
Not as much as I would want to, but when I can.
Okay. It's just busy nightlife or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, 'cause I wanted to start telling you guys, start going to like different comedy venues to introduce yourself to people. And then, like, use the fact that you're a comedian to get into places, to get into spaces. Like, no, you want your family to see Adam Ray, dope as hell. But if you went to the Punchline more, you could have probably gotten it free. Well, no, because it was sold out. So one thing about the Punchline is that if it's a sold out show, they tell comics not to come because it's just hard to get in and stuff like that. I'm a guy, like, even like last night, because there's like a lot of stuff going on. They was like, go in, and they're like, he was like, no, stay outside. Like, go in. I'm like, hey, guys. Whenever you figure it out, I'll go in then. All right. And then also, like, I was hanging out with Adam for a bit, and then they was like, I told you to go in. I was like, oh no, I was just chilling with Adam. I just want to say what's up, stuff like that. Yada, yada, yada. So use that to your advantage. Like, sometimes you can like go to certain comedy clubs, but also be respectful though. Like, I know, like, especially because I go to Cobb's, I can get to a sold out show at Cobb's, no problem, because I just got that kind of rapport where everybody knows staff. Like, I know the cooks, I know the waitresses, I know security people, I know the box office. So I'll wait outside, never bum rush in. And they'd be like, Corde, why you still waiting outside? I was like, I'm just waiting for y'all to get people in. It was okay. And then, like, I'm like, what can I say? Like, I'll just go to the back. I'm like, okay, cool. So I can watch free shows all the time at the at Cobb's Comedy Club. Like, I think Patton Oswalt is at Cobb's this week. So, like, I could probably go there, just, like, sit in the back or something like that. And it's kind of, you know how I know my relationship is good with a certain comedy club? There's, like, other comics hanging outside. I remember they was just, like, I was talking to a bunch of other comics, and then it was like, Corde, come here. And, like, I got pulled in out of the group of comics to come into a sold-out show. And then I think the other comics came in, like, 20 minutes later. And I had, like, a good seat for, like, a free show. So, and it is always funny to me when people who aren't comics ask me to come to the show. Well, not weird like that, but when they was like, oh, I can buy your ticket. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. I'll meet you there. Unless it's like the Masonic or like maybe like Sack Punchline, but I kind of know people up there. Or Tommy T's. I don't have like the great rapport with Tommy T, so I can't get in free. But oh, such and such come to Cobb's. Hey, you want me to buy your ticket? And I'm like, and a few times that's happened. And then I've walked in with a ticket and they're like, what are you, like, you bought a ticket? I was like, yeah, my friends want me to sit with them. But then I'm like, now I bought a ticket, now I got a 2-drink minimum. And it's like, I said, I don't usually pay for all this when I come by myself, you know? So it's always funny because when I go to sold out shows too, also I go by myself. That's another thing too. Like, I know you have a girl. Well, you both got girls now. Damn, I'm team single over here. A lot of times if you go to a comedy show, I usually go by myself. That makes it a lot easier because I'm not bringing anybody extra. I'm not like the person, you know, I'm not the person like, hey, can you get like me and 2 of my homies in too? Like kind of a thing. So
get me, my wife, and my girlfriend in.
Exactly.
But like make sure one goes through one entrance.
Exactly.
One goes through the other.
Hey, can you let her in real quick and just sit her on the opposite side of the room and then I'm gonna sit with my wife. Hell yeah. That's how you do it. But nah, so it's funny because I remember I've been told a few different times, it's like, hey, I was like, can I come to the show? I know it was sold out. They were like, yeah, just you, right? And I'm like, yep. They were like, all right, just checking. I was like, no, I ain't bringing nobody extra. I ain't bringing. There was only one time. I think her name was Yvonne Orji. She was on. It's stop it. It's Nigerian. It's a Nigerian name. Stop it, you guys. All right. So that's how you know black people invented orgy. Hell yeah. It's in the name. It was my homie's birthday and she was headlining Cobb's and had sold it out. And I was gonna bring my homie and my sister. My sister was kind of iffy on it because she was like, I don't know if you can't get me in, I don't want to come. And I was like, I can't get you in, but I knew it wouldn't be the best seats. So that's why I was like, you can come, but I don't know if the seats. He's like, well, the seats not gonna be kind of bougie. He's like, seats ain't gonna be good. I'm like, all right, cool. And then later, because I knew the security, they brought me up to the green room to meet Yvonne, which is dope as hell. And then I'm talking to her so dang long that I left my homie on his birthday downstairs. Then he got kicked out of the club, like, cause I was upstairs talking and I was like, I just gotta go. And then she's like, no, but where you from? Yada, yada. You live out here? What's some dope restaurants to go to? I was like, it's kind of late. It's like a Tuesday. I was like, some not really open. Everything probably closed at like 10. I was like, what time is it? She's like, it's like 11:30. I was like, dang, yeah, you really ain't got no luck. I was like, you want Mexican food? She's like, I mean, it's like, I'm from DC. I want like some soul food. And I was like, yeah, no good soul food place in SF. She was like, no, what about Oakland? And I was like, I think they closed too. Like, and I Googled it and they closed early. It's a Tuesday. I was like, if you was here on a Friday or a Thursday, I could have hooked you up. But then because it's a Tuesday, they don't know people coming out. So yeah, it was funny as hell. Then my homie got mad at me. He was like, man, you know, it's cool and everything, but I feel like our friendship is dividing. I was like, why is that? He's like, man, we don't hang out no more. And I was like, is this because of I left you outside on your birthday? He's like, nah, I didn't ain't that. Well, I knew where this is coming from, but yeah, it was up here. So sometimes just use your advantage of being a comedian, but be respectful, which I tell people. But it's funny as hell because still comedians be like, oh, Corde, I don't know how to talk to people like you do. I'm like, what you mean? Just be nice, be cordial, strike up a conversation, be friendly. But I realize not everybody's friendly. Some people are like real introverts. I'm like a real extrovert, so I like to talk to people. So it's just easy for me to strike up a conversation, meet people, and then sometimes, you know how just talking to people, something good comes out of it? Like, I remember I was talking to Adam Ray's guys about the merch, stuff like that. But like, I was like, oh, this is dope as hell. And then I was like, another guy, I was like, yo, camera. I was like, is that a regular cell phone or is that like a dope camera? He's like, oh, no, this thing was like 2 Gs. I was like, oh, okay, well, I can't afford that. But it was like, he was using it when Adam was like in the back and he's like walking up on the stage. I was like, that's going to be a dope clip added to whatever other thing, you know, like, or like a retake of like, how Punchline SF, thank you so much. And it's like, get a clip and you see the sold out crowd. I'm like, that's going to be a dope ass shot. So stuff like that. Then his camera guy used to do comedy, stopped, but he just like a lot of Adam's behind the scene, like production and scenes. And I was like, I stopped in 2016. I was like, did you stack Punchline a lot? He was like, yeah, I used to do all the time. I was like, I used to do Justin Harrison shows. He's like, I used to do all his shows. I was like, so yeah, I was like, I do know you then. Like, I do know you. He's like, yeah. And then Nick Larson was another homie of mine based out of Stockton. I was like, yeah, we both used to do his show. I was like, so that's why you look so familiar. He's like, okay, cool. Strike up a conversation. And then before you know it, I got merch. Would have got him to sign it, but I was like, I'm going to wear this. So, no. I was like, I don't want it to get ruined. But yeah, he was like, you got some merch? Corde, you got some merch? I was like, yeah. He was like, for sure, man. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. And then all his homies was like, all right, Corde, see you next time. And I told them, I was like, hey, let me get y'all Instagrams, and then I'll send y'all my merch. So then y'all can know. He's like, oh yeah, man, dude, I'll definitely support the Corde Snell stuff. I was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it is being cordial to people, to strike up conversation, stuff like that just works out. So go to more shows, guys, but don't be assholes. No, because I say that because one time people at Cobb's told me if I knew a guy. And I was like, who? And he was like, he's a new comic. He just be bartending. He's like, I'm a comic. And he just walks in past security because he hears that he can get free shows. But he's like, I don't know who that is. And they like talking shit and like talk. Because dude's rude. Like, dude's like says I'm comic. And he just, instead of like waiting, like, okay, like wait over here for a little bit. We're going to bring some people in. And then we'll figure a place to see. He just like, I'm a comic. And it's like barges in, and he just like says, I'm a comic. And everyone's just like, I don't know you, dude. I haven't seen you on no showcase, no nothing. It's like, who is this dude? And like, as they're saying that, like how rude he is, he doesn't like sit and like wait to just be cordial to people. He walks in, he's like, hey, I'm a comic. And he was like, hey man, let me come here. Let me talk to you. And I had to pull him to the side and tell him like, yo, I know you're a comic, but you got to wait too. Like just because you're a comic don't mean you can just cut the line immediately as you walk up. We're checking other people, we're doing other stuff, and you just kind of wandering around. And then it was like, that's the guy. I was like, I don't know him. I don't know him at all. I was like, you want me to talk to? And then the boss was like, I'll talk to him. And I was like, ooh. Yeah. So that was like super funny. But yeah, man, it's just good to network and also have a home club. Like I always say, San Jose Improv is like my home club because they fuck with me like a ton. They I get into sold out shows there. Like to figure out a way to like, to sit here or stand here, stuff like that. But it'd be funny because they'd be like, hey, you can't be up in the green room. I was like, why would I go to the green room? I ain't trying to, what? Like they was like, no, I know, but we just have to tell comics. I was like, why did some comic try to sneak up to the green room? And they was like, yeah, because they were like a regular here. They think they can just go up to the green room. I'm like, I'm not on the show. You know, like you think like still logically. I'm like,
well, yeah, I could see some guys though just being like, bro, yeah, come on, dude, it's me.
Yeah. No, yeah, and I'm just like, but I'm always under the mindset this can all go away at some point, or like somebody said something that like wasn't true, lie on me, and then like all this is just taken away.
All the girls who watch this show will cancel you.
Shut up, dude. That is a fear of mine. I'm not gonna lie, because I talk about my dating life on here too much, which I find out over the few months. So it's like, yeah, but it's one of those. It's one of those. I'm just like, it's like you can't go up to the green room. I'm like, I don't know this guy. I was like, unless. Only sometimes I'll ask. I don't even ask to go to the green room. If I know the opener or the feature, I'll talk to them because if I know them, I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, yo? Make cool friends with them." And I'm like, "Can I meet him? If not, it's cool. Keep doing your thing." And I'll just hang out with the feature, and I'm like, "We're about to go upstairs." I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then I'll just stand down there because I like, "Okay, go to the green room." And it was like, "Corde, what you doing?" I was like, "You said you was going." I was like, "No, we're going." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I'll still tell them, hey, he said it was okay. I'm not trying to, like, I know what you guys said. I'm like, he said, like, I'm still nervous about it because it's like, and then like, because I remember one time I got stopped at San Jose Improv, but this was like fall of 2014. My homie Brett Ernst was headlining there, and I'm hanging out in like the lobby area, and there was like different management there at the time too. And then I walked in. I was like, "Oh, I'm a guest of Brett." He said I can come up, and he's like, "I'll go to the green room." But I was like, "I'll just wait for him to come get me. I'm not gonna walk up there because I know y'all got like a protocol." And he was like, "Nah, dude. I'll talk to Brett. He said he didn't have no guests." And I was like, I'll text him." He's like, "Nah, man. If you ain't got no tickets, you got to dip." And I was like, "Can I just wait for a second? I'm gonna text him." He's like, "Nah, dude." And the dude became combative, and then but he had to handle something. He walked away, and I texted Brett. I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "I'm downstairs. They said you had no guests." He's like, all caps, "What? Here I come. Come downstairs." He's like, "What's up, Corde?" I was like, with a homie, and who knew him too. And he was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "Hey, come up here with me, right?" Go upstairs in the green room, hanging out, chilling. We talking. He's like, "Yeah, Corde." He's like, yeah, that's cool. He's like, it's like, so how long? He's like, "Well, I got 2 shows here. And I got to do another show on Saturday, but I'm back here on Sunday, but it's not my show. So if you want to come hang, you can, but it's not my show." I was like, "Okay, cool. I'll come hang." And I was like, "I know how to." I said, "I'm not going to try to be like bigger." He was like, "Oh," I said, "All right, that's why I respect you." He's like, "People don't get it, you know?" And then the dude who was combative before comes up to the green room, He was like, "What's up, Brett?" He was like, "You too. I told you guys got to leave. You guys got to get up out of here." Brett, he was like, "What?" He's like, "What?" He's like, "Hey," I was like, all right, Brett." He was like, "No." He was like, "Sit down." He was like, he was like, "Hey man, let me talk to you outside." And then that's when Brett was like, Brett like smoothed everything out. Because at the end of the day, it's still like a business. Like, I'm not trying to overstep y'all. I'm not trying to do none of this. I'm being respectful. Just a homie brought me up here. Like, I'm still like, even like if a headliner says, "Hey, come with me," I'm still like, "Hey, he said I can come with him." I'm not trying to like, kind of a thing. But it was funny as hell. And then I got a guest spot that Sunday, did well. And then the same guy who was trying to kick me out on like Thursday, whatever day, he was like, "Hey man, yeah, you funny as hell, man. Why you did a show here?" And I was like, "Oh." Because at the time, people was doing bringer shows at San Jose Improv, and if you didn't have a minimum of 30 people, like, you probably couldn't do it. And I was just like, "Can I bring out 30 people?" I was like, "I could try." But it was like 30 people on a Wednesday. And I was just like, "It's going to be hard." And I started inviting people, and good thing I didn't do that show, the bringer show, because the homie was like, "Y'all can come." "Wait, San Jose on a Wednesday?" "I don't know, Corde. That's kind of hard." And he's like, "I don't even like to go to Oakland to support you." So it was hella funny. But yeah, and then so just stick to protocol, be nice, be cool, be calm. Don't try to push past anybody. So yeah, it's still dope. It's still dope. And I'm still cordial and nice to everybody who I meet. Cause I remember told a story. I think it was, who was it? Ralphie May told a story. Be nice to them, the waitresses and the managers or the bartenders, because you never know who might become the GM of that club. So, and also I'm just like nice and caring to people, because I'm like, I know y'all having a hard time. Like, I'm never like a diva or nothing like that. So I'm just, even like if I do make it big, I'm still gonna be cordial, still gonna be nice, because I'm still gonna be like, especially I go back to Punchline and I headline it. I'm like, I remember y'all when I was just over in the corner. Like, I feel like that's a thing that I won't probably ever forget. I won't forget, like, oh, y'all, if you're a comic hero, you want to pursue comedy, go keep grinding out, keep doing it. Because I remember I used to sit right over there, or I stood on alongside like that wall when I saw Bobby Lee, because it was a sold out show, and I had to stand next to the wall because I just wanted to see this headliner, and I didn't buy tickets. I got in free, but I just had to stand the whole time. Like, I don't forget stuff like that. Like, I remember this person worked here, and stuff. So I'm always like I don't think I can get lost in something like that. Like, be like, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that." I'm like, because I'm still humble at the end of the day. Like, I've seen people get canceled, or I've seen stuff being taken away from people, and I'm always in the back of my mind thinking, this could happen to me. Or like somebody might have a beef against you and lies on you or something, and then get you in some drama that you didn't even do just because they didn't like somebody else, but because you're a friend of somebody, you're dragged in it too. And I'm like, I didn't even do nothing. I was just there that day. I didn't do nothing. I didn't say nothing. I remember one time I got in something like that. I remember I was sitting at the bar and somebody included me in a beef that they had with somebody else and their friends because whatever. And it was like, I was like, and everybody started, and the other comics talking about, like, "Y'all heard?" Yeah. I was like, "Heard what?" I didn't do nothing. I was just at the bar at the show that day. I sat there and watched the show, and then I left. I tried to speak to the person. They didn't want to speak to me back, said I was mean to them when I didn't even say nothing. And I was just like, this person's being weird. And then I got caught up in some drama. So, yeah. I'll tell you the rest off air. Hell yeah. So Deadpool and Wolverine came out. That was a dope movie. Jared, you saw it.
Yeah.
Noah, you didn't see it. Noah says I could do spoilers, so hell yeah. Because I respect people who haven't seen it, but it's like people like, I don't care about shit. So one of the best movies I've seen. I was super excited. This was like the one show of the summer that I wanted to see hella bad too. But I was worried because of the writer's strike and because of the actor strike. I was like, will this movie be good, or will it like fall flat on its face because they didn't have enough time? Because I remember they started reshooting, and then I think a month and a half later they was done. I was like, no, bro, you can't be done that quick. I was like, is Marvel rushing this movie out because they need a win, they need a victory? Shit was hella good. Bunch of surprises popped out. I kind of want to spoil. Fuck it. Wesley Snipes appears in it. That was like a dope part. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. Also, the action scene with Deadpool and Wolverine, great. Like
their first fight.
The first fight and the second fight.
Yeah.
The both good. The second fight, like, the second fight was better than the first fight, just because how violently brutal it was. Like, they messed up that Honda Odyssey.
The worst car in the world.
It was super good. But I loved the first fight was, because I watched a lot of stuff. I watched Low Key. I watch everything. You have to watch everything to stay on top. And how they went to, they got I forget what it's called.
The TVA.
The TVA. The TVA sent them to the dead zone or something like that, or
the
like,
void.
The void, right? So the void in this movie is Fox Studios.
Yeah.
Which I think is hilarious because like Disney bought the Marvel rights of Fox. So I was like, oh, this is brilliant. Because I remember I kept seeing it too on the set. It was like a big Fox logo in the background. I heard it was going to be a dope thing. And I was like, well, how you going to do that? And I was like, how you going to like, this don't make no sense. And then I'm like, never thought that the void would be Fox Studios. And I'm like, oh my God, brilliant.
The Chris Evans bait and switch, I felt like I should have seen that coming. Like, the fact that he's not playing. Yeah. Right after happened, it's like, oh, the door. Like, I totally forgot.
So I was mad because, not mad, but like that part wasn't huge to me because a homie of mine who like, he has like connections, stuff like that. He told me that was going to happen. I was like, oh, okay. So when I saw him and I was just like, and even like, they kind of do pump like, he's like, oh my God, he's going to say it. And he does say something else. And it's just like, yeah.
It was a perfect way to introduce that world, though, because even though you see the 20th Century Fox thing in the back, it's not totally obvious that everyone here is going to be one of those people.
Exactly.
So that was fun. That was really funny.
That was super fun. Blade, motherfucker, still trying to skate uphill. Like yo, best line ever. Walks in, he's like, yeah, I was like, I don't like you. I don't like you either. And I'm just like, oh right, because they had history, because like it's dope, ties in and stuff like that. And I'm just like, this is great.
I love that Elektra was there, but not Daredevil, because there's no way Ben Affleck was going to be able to fit in that suit again. He was so skinny when he was Daredevil.
True.
That's why I thought he wasn't there. Because, I mean, she was a part of his movie.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that she was there, he wasn't there, I was like, oh, he too fat for this.
That's what you thought?
100%.
I just thought because they was married at one point, it was divorced. That's why it was funny.
Oh, it could be that too, but
it's like, sorry about Daredevil. She's like,
yeah. No, I just thought because he's gonna, like, they wouldn't be able to explain how chunky he was.
It could be that. Or like I just figured it was like too, because also it was like a time allowance of this kind of stuff too, so it probably couldn't fit everybody. Because I heard it was supposed to be a lot of cameos that didn't show up, which was dope and cool. Because I'm like, some of these are just rumors.
Gambit.
Yeah.
That voice.
No, the voice. Yeah.
I don't know anything about Gambit. He's from like Louis.
My name is Remy LeBeau.
So is he from like Louisiana or something?
He's from Louisiana. He's Cajun.
Okay.
He's from like New Orleans area, so that's what that's supposed to be. And it's funny because like everyone's like, this voice is like kind of funny and kind of weird, right? But the funny thing about that, Channing Tatum is like from New Orleans, and can speak Creole.
Oh, okay.
So he can actually do. So the accent was like kind of funny, but
so was it correct then, and we just don't know because we're from California?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, or it was so quick and stuff like that. I was like, dang, this fool is speaking fast, kind of a thing.
Yeah, which was part of the gag.
Yeah, part of the gag. And then I was just like, because I'm from my parents. I mean, my dad's from Louisiana, but they do talk country like that. But I'm like, so it's a mixture of like country and French, like wrapped into one.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, this could be the gag or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. And then in my head, I was like, well, would I have liked the whole movie of this accent?
Oh my God, that'd be so confusing.
That'd been funny. And then I'm also like the cartoon, because that's what it was based off. I'm like, well, the cartoon, he didn't speak like that, but I'm like, this is also probably just like a gag at the same time too. So it's super.
It's funny because it was kind of a meta joke on the type of roles that Channing Tatum has taken in other franchises. Like when he was in that End of the World movie, Seth Rogen, and he was the Gimp. You know what I mean? Like he loves jumping in as these weird characters for
best role to me. Best like random jump in role to me.
Yeah.
Because I was an excuse. Like I've been doing it with this guy for heck long, and then all of a sudden he's like Channing Tatum, and he's like, hey guys, I'm like, did not expect that.
Right.
Did not expect that at all. And then like how he just kept acting in it too, and I was like, I was like, more people should do this. Be like random, like you're in this, like yeah. So like, or when Tom Cruise was in, I think was it Tropic Thunder or something like that, the Innovator, when he was like fat, and I was like,
an
agent, right? I was just like, I want to see a movie with this character.
Dude, he was incredible.
I
don't give a fuck. Who you are.
Yeah,
you fucking.
Yeah, it was like, and then playing Ludacris, hands up, like it was another, I was like, it like. What was like 2-3 minutes of that?
Yeah, but it was incredible. You're like, his agent's more terrifying than terrorists.
Exactly.
They were afraid of him.
Right? I would love to see that character just like keep appearing randomly in like hell other places. And I was just like, yo, I know like probably can do a whole movie with it and it'll be trash. I was like, but give me like a short 20-minute film or something like that, or a series with that, and kind of just like funny spoofs and stuff like that. Also, I remember I used to have a huge problem with Tropic Thunder too, because like blackface that Robert Downey did, right? And everybody kept saying this is it's not method acting, but it's like it's a play on the fact that this is something Hollywood does. Yeah, I forget the exact word, but I was like, nah, man, I don't appreciate blackface. And then as I was triggered, and I started realizing I watched it again because also I don't think Tropic Thunder is that funny. That's just me.
It's a little over the top.
Yeah. Also because I thought people love that movie to death, and I'm like, I didn't think it was that funny. And I saw the all-star cast that was there. I thought it was gonna be one of the all-time great classic comedy movies. That's when I saw the cast. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, some of this is cool. Like, all right, cool. Yeah, kind of. Robert Downey Jr. was funny in it because then in the callback of like Brandon T. Jackson too. And I was like, Jack Black wasn't super funny in it to me. Ben Stiller couldn't really. And I was like, these are some of my funniest people to me. Like alone, funny as hell. Together, I was like, not so much.
It's like watching the All-Star games for the NBA. Sometimes you put all these guys together and it's not a fun team. Exactly. You need someone, if you're going to have that many stars on there, someone has to start taking a role player role. Like Jumanji was like the closest thing I saw to like a good, you got Kevin Hart, you got The Rock, you got Jack Black, and then you got a woman. Yeah. And
yeah. Don't know her name. I don't know her name either. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. But it was great.
I leaned into that for a minute. But I mean, that was the closest I saw to like an all-star cast managing the energy well. They passed the ball a lot. A big part of that is because The Rock and Kevin Hart are friends.
Great friends. And I remember I kept thinking that this movie was gonna suck. So you can't outdo the original.
I didn't see.
And I was like, this is gonna be trash. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, this is so good. This is delightful. I was like laughing hecka much, like how his weakness was cake. Like that was so random. Yeah. And his weakness also was endurance or something like that, or running. Like he just running and then he explodes. I'm like, this is hecka funny. And then you take The Rock, who's like supposed to be this huge, muscular dude, who's the guy who's playing him is super scared. Like, that's like.
Yeah, they did a great job of subverting all of the archetypes. Yeah. It was good shit.
Another great movie, I think, that came later was The Tower with Ben Stiller, and it had a bunch Jackson Bueller's Day Off, that guy. Eddie Murphy was in it. That was supposed to be his comeback role. And it was like, I thought it was great, too. It wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, but it was just overall just a great, great movie. Casey Affleck was in that as well, which I'm always just like, I forget you're related to Ben.
And he's a better actor.
He's a way better actor.
Way better actor. So good. He's just not handsome, so he gets screwed. Like his brother's. His brother's like classically handsome. Yeah. Like you don't have to be gay or anything. You're like, when you look at like what you want to see in a white dude's face, Ben has that when he's in shape. Yeah. Cool. Casey's got unique features. He looks like Jeremy Allen White.
Don't know who that is.
Oh, if I showed you a picture of him, you'd be like, oh, okay, I know who that is. He's getting a lot of work now, but. Yeah, it sucks. A lot of those guys that are really good. Like, to me, Jake Gyllenhaal is like probably the best white actor alive. I watch him do so many things. Yeah. He sucks in nothing. Yeah. The movie can be bad, and you're still like, he was good.
It's funny. I remember did you see that? It was a movie that he did after The Dark Knight Rises. And he's supposed to be like, they hinted at him being Robin, and it was him on a bike. And I was just like, what the hell is this?
I think I do. I can't remember what it's called, though.
It was like kind of a throwaway movie, and it didn't do well and stuff like that. I was like, this movie is stupid. How you going to do this after The Dark Knight Rises, right? And I remember I watched it on a Saturday. It was so good. It was way better. Way better than I thought it was going to be.
Nightcrawler, incredible. He played Mysterio, was really good.
But my bad. We are talking about two different people. Jake Gyllenhaal.
You're thinking of Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
I wasn't going to correct you. I just want to see how far we were going to get.
So that's what's funny because I'm bad with white people actors' names. But yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is great. Only movie that he wasn't great in was Southpaw. Because the movie just wasn't great overall. Because the trailer was different than what it actually was. Right. So that's what they said. Because they made it seem like he was going to be like a boxer throughout the whole thing. And that's not what it was about. And I was just like, damn, you got jacked for an emotional movie?
Well, I'm sure it wasn't that great. I haven't seen Roadhouse yet with Conor McGregor, but I'm sure that wasn't good. Cause I heard bad things about it. Anytime you do a remake. Yeah. Dude, I'm worried about the Borderlands movie for that same reason, though. Like, I think Borderlands is going to try to beat Jumanji, but I don't know. I don't trust the ensemble cast.
Wasn't there a Borderlands show?
No, it's always been video games. Borderlands is a video game series.
No, wasn't what I'm saying, wasn't Borderlands, like, didn't they come out with a Borderlands show on like Amazon Prime or something like that?
If they did, I haven't heard about it.
Okay.
This is the first time I've ever seen it adapted to film.
Yeah. And it must have been like another similar type. No, it was Fallout. It was Fallout.
And that was good.
Yeah.
The Fallout show was pretty good.
The Fallout show was good?
They did a good job of, like, if you know Fallout, you can enjoy some stuff. If you don't know Fallout, you can still follow it and enjoy it. They do a good job of that.
Yeah. I saw, literally when I was like watching the trailer for the movie you're worried about,
Borderlands,
I was just like, this kind of looks like Deadpool kind of esque or kind of.
So that's the thing, is that game series is, it's cartoony, it's very wacky like Deadpool, but it's like that same thing to 11. That's like what you play for. A lot of gore, all that, but that's a good way to put it. It's very in the Deadpool space. And it's like, well, I could never see this adapted to live action. Like, good luck.
I saw the trailer. I thought it was a show. And then I was like, oh, and then now I'm seeing a lot of like more like promo for it, and I'm just like, this ain't gonna do well.
I don't think so.
I'm like, cause like I have no interest in like going to see it. Like if I like go with something like, oh, this is out, I kind of want to see it, cause I don't think it's gonna be good. I don't think the ratings of it's gonna be good either, cause like Kevin Hart's trying to be serious. Love Kevin Hart to death. I just think it was like,
oh, the character he's playing is so not who he is.
Yeah. But that's what I like, cause then he was challenge himself more. And I'm just like, I don't. And I'm like, I saw that one, and was like, I don't think this is gonna be a success.
Yeah, even the Borderlands fans, like, they took 2 characters from the first game, 2 characters from the second game, and acted like they've been hanging out together. And it's like, that's not how that works. But
so
that's
it Kevin Hart and what's the lady's name with the red hair?
Yeah, so they're from the first one, and then the other 2 characters are from the second one. Yeah. And like, it's just the canon of that story is like, there was never a moment where these 4 characters were together without the other glue characters. Yeah. So you're like, all right, whatever. Like, we're having fun. Yeah. We're doing our thing. And again, the little girl, like, think the Joker, Harley Quinn, Deadpool in one person. She's supposed to be wacky as hell. Oh, really? The fact that she's grounded at all in the trailer, I'm like, no, Tiny Tina's like mentally unwell. That's her whole thing.
Because you can't make a kid like mentally
unwell. You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, it works as a cartoon. You let a lot of stuff go in cartoons. Yeah. That like once you put a real person there, you're like,
I mean, like Bart, like Bart in the early Simpson episodes, he was like very unhinged, stuff like that. They had to like bring that back, and they had to make Homer dumb, because it was like inspiring kids to like act out. That's what they were saying. So that's why like in early Simpson episodes, like because I remember I was like, Homer was like smart. Like, what was it? He was like logical. He would always choke up and stuff like that, and then but he would like have like conversations and thing, and all of a sudden he just got like dumb. I just thought, and it's funny, I think they used it like him going to Moe's more made him dumber kind of a thing. And then like Bart wasn't being as bad. Cause I remember Bart was a terror in the early days. And that was like some of the best ones too, but the visuals wasn't right. So that's like hecka funny. But what's the lady with the red hair though?
I don't know who's playing her. The character's name is Lilith, but honestly, that lady, I hate to say it, way too old.
Really?
In the cartoon, she's like in her like early 20s. So I saw that casting, I was like, "What the fuck?" Like,
because she's sexy as an old woman, that's why.
She's probably gonna do a great job.
Great actor
like,
too, yeah.
Yeah, and she's a great actor. I'm not shitting on her. It's just like weird casting.
When I saw her, I was like, this is supposed to be a young person.
If you'd have took the girl from Jumanji and made her that girl, like that'd have been more appropriate.
Or if you'd have took the girl who's playing Sue Storm in Fantastic Four.
Sue Storm, Fantastic Four, the new one.
Yeah, the new one
with Miles Teller. And Michael B. Jordan is the Flame?
No. That's the old one. There's a new one coming out.
There's an even newer one?
There's an even newer one coming out. She was in, I think she was in 007, and she was in a movie with Kevin Hart on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah, she's like, she's dope
too.
But
it's just funny. The actor is at least 15 years older than she should be.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
I could tell that too. And I was like, I don't think this lady's supposed to be this old. And it was just funny, but I was like, I love chicks with red hair, so I was like, I'm on board.
Even Jamie Lee Curtis as Tannis is a little old, but I trust Jamie Lee Curtis as an actor. I'm like, she's gonna pull this off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I was okay with that, but again, also too old. Yeah. I'm like, both these ladies unfortunately are too old to be these characters, but whatever. Like,
that's funny. That's funny that we're complaining about women's ages in like movies, but it's like, because trying to be accurate to like something people.
And that's the only reason.
And then like
they're
don't
both
get
good
stuff
actors.
right. Yeah,
I'm not talking shit on them.
No, I know. No, because it's like funny. Like when you watch like especially something you're super passionate about, like a game series stuff like that. And like, come on, man, y'all could have. but I like. We're complaining about their age, but sometimes when like you get a good actor instead of like a fine chick who can't act, and the movie goes south, this might have like help give like a stronger performance.
Oh yeah, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I hope so much when I go to see it.
Yeah,
even Jack Black is Claptrap. I was like, all right, you're just throwing another name in there.
Claptrap.
He's the robot, the little square robot that kicked down the well.
See, I thought you meant Claptrap was like throwing Jack Black in a movie is like a Claptrap, like basically meaning like I'm gonna go see this because he's in it.
Oh, funny.
That's even funnier because that's the name.
Really funny. That's the name of the robot.
Yeah, that's the name of the robot. Like, oh, he's a Claptrap. He's a laugh trap. Like, oh, I'm gonna think this is gonna be a funny movie because he's in it and stuff like that. That's even funny. My mind went someplace way different.
That is really funny. The fact that you bring that up too, like. The Deadpool thing really anchors that type of style for someone who doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Claptrap is like, imagine if Deadpool didn't know how to kill anybody. He was just a useless robot.
That's funny.
But he's going to keep cracking jokes the whole time and thinking he's the most important character.
Exactly.
And everyone's like, we literally hate that you're here.
Like, dang. Yeah. That's funny. Because I also like, Borderlands really is like a Deadpool meets Mad Max kind of a vibe.
Exactly. That's a very good way to put it. You're right in the ballpark with that.
Because I'm like watching this. I'm like, this seems like Mad Max would came out and bombed. And I'm like, then Deadpool comes out. I'm like, this is like the third of the two that evolved into one. I'm like, yeah, but I don't know if this is gonna do well. But
yeah.
So yeah, it's shout out to the chick with the red hair. I keep forgetting her name. I know she was in Benjamin Button. Like, yeah.
You look on your phone.
Yeah. Because I think I'm confusing her. And
just look up like the cast of Borderlands.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing her and the lady who was in Thor Ragnarok.
Oh, that's Rachel McAdams?
No.
Oh, you're talking about who played Hela.
Yeah, who played Hela, yeah.
Oh.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
What a horrible noise. Okay. Kate Blanchett is playing Lilith.
Okay,
yeah.
I think she played Hela in Thor Ragnarok too. Can you look that up real quick too?
Probably.
Yeah. I think it was too. Because like also, real quick, Hela is probably the sexiest MCU villain to me. Not gonna lie. Remember
she did. You're right.
Yeah. Okay. So right. That's what I thought. Like, when I figured, I was like, I know exactly who this is. Because I'm like, she got that old sexy thing going on for me, and I'm like, whew.
She was great in that role.
And I remember I saw her afterwards, and I was like, I like you much better with the long black hair. I remember she
she had great eye makeup too. That like heavy eyeshadow.
My God. Like remember the guy who like he was like, I'm just a janitor. I'm just going, right? I would have joined Hela squad as soon as he asked me to join. Not gonna lie. Like I was in love with that character so much. Remember ladies like, you gotta kill these people. Wouldn't have hesitated. Anything for you, Hela. Like I'm not I still remember the best parts of that movie to me is like she's like, I'm Hela, and she kills everybody and she goes and sits up on the throne. I was like, that's a bad bitch right there. I was like, God. And I'm just like, so no one gets a love scene with Hela? Like I would have definitely tried to been pushing like or just like acting like, well, you know, me and Hela together now. Even if it wasn't in the script, I would have been ad-libbing so much about he was like, why are you doing this? You gonna kill innocent people? I'm like, have you seen her? Have you seen her? Like kind of like Will Smith when he's like the meme like that.
Yeah.
That was me with Hela. So yeah.
See, ladies who listen to this podcast, if you're hot enough, Corde will do anything for you.
Anything for
and if he's not doing that, just, take that in stride.
Yeah. Or I might even move out of state with you. That happened years ago. That wasn't a recent thing, and it didn't happen recent at all. That was definitely a chick I was dating with kids back from 2020. So hell yeah. That is hell yeah. But yeah, if you're hot enough, I think if any chick is hot enough, anybody will like shoot. Okay. Spin it forward. Cardi B just filed for divorce from Offset right now, all right? And Cardi B is one of the chicks who I always feel like, you know how your mom say, stay away from that girl. She'll cause you a number of problems. That's the chick I would run directly to. Cardi B is that. And then after she'd have filed from divorce from Offset, I was like, she announced that she was pregnant too. And I messaged all my homies like, damn, I got to raise 3 of this nigga's kids. And then people was like, what? I was like, oh, I need to get famous so I can shoot my shot at Cardi B. Like it's one of the, I think I gave my top 4 a few weeks ago. It's like Adele. Oh, so this is who it was. It's Adele, it's the wife, Nelly Furtado, my queen. And then Cardi B is my side chick. Like that is like, and then Rihanna is like, I don't even know.
You're her side chick.
Yeah, basically, yeah, exactly. Boyfriend number 2, side dude, all that kind of stuff. Like it's like those are my top 4. Like I remember, because it's funny because people know that I love Adele so much, and I put Adele on top of everything, right? So when I put Nelly Furtado on my story and I put my queen, everybody was like, what about Adele? What about Adele? And I was like, I had to DM everybody. I was like, you hear how I said my queen and not my wife? Like, come on now. Y'all can't be over here. Because Nelly Furtado got hella thick over there. So she just went away and she came back hella thick. Now I'm mad because she's kind of losing it now. So it's more of a tone thickness. But I'm still loving every single minute of it, all right? Because I remember she was like super skinny girl. And now she's still singing promiscuous girl. And I'm like, yes, you are. All right, that thickness and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to sexualize, but goddamn, Nelly Furtado, you are sexy. Cardi B, damn, yo. I remember I used to listen to Tatiana all the time because I was just imagining myself with. I was like, I'll be a blood. Like, yo, I'll go through whatever to get to you, Cardi B. Right? Quick story. I remember I was doing a show. I was on an open mic in Union City, and I remember I was shooting pool. And then I was on the mic, and then I was at the mic, and then some chick was shooting pool with this guy. I immediately thought it was her dude, right? I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, man, dang, that's her dude, whatever. I was like, so initially, I start a conversation. I'll just work them into a conversation. I'm like, oh, dang, bro, she beating you over in pool. Dang, your girl beating you. He was like, what? This ain't my girl? And I was like, say less. So I wrapped up my set probably a minute and a half later, and I walked up. I was like, oh, y'all shooting pool? I was like, hey, let's get another game. I was like, I bet y'all beat you and stuff. He's like, nah, I'm not trying to play no more. So I'm going to go outside and smoke. So I wait 2 to 3 minutes, and I was like, walked outside. I needed a cigarette to smoke, too, all of a sudden. I was like, and I remember I always keep lighters on me all the time because people who smoke never have lighters for whatever reason, right? So I remember keep a lighter in your pocket. That's how you can talk to a female. I think this is like, I don't even know when this was. It was a long time ago. But I remember talking to her. It's like, yeah. I was like, oh, I like your nails. You got blue nails. That's dope. I like your blue nails. She was like, yeah, I got blue nails because it matches because my boyfriend's a Crip. And I was just like, oh, that's what's up. And I was like, oh, it's like, yeah, but it's we kind of toxic relationship. I was like, well, shoot. I was like, I'm not toxic, kind of throwing it out there. And I remember I was like, hey, we should shoot some pool. She's like, I love to shoot pool. We should shoot pool all the time. People in here who suck. I was like, well, I don't suck. I'm about to leave, so let's get another game of pool and stuff like that. She's like, okay, yeah, that'll be dope. So I remember I got her number. I was like, I'm going to steal her away from her Crip boyfriend. Hell yeah. And then on the drive home, I think it was in Hayward, I was like, steal her away from a dude who's a Crip? Are you crazy?
Yeah, that's a little wild.
And I was like, I remember never text her. I think I texted her once and never text her again. Because I remember I was just like, hey, I'm on my way to get a game of pool. I'll be in this area. Let me know if you down. Or something like that. And she texted me a few days later. And I was like, and she was like, oh, my bad, just seeing this. I was like, I was out and about. I was like, oh, you must be with your boyfriend. So, oh, no, we broke up. And I was like, oh, y'all did? But then I was like, do I really want to be dating a chick who just broke up with a Crip? And I'm like, hell no.
yeah, man, there's easier stuff out there.
Way easier stuff. And I was just like, yeah, nah, I'm not about that life. I was like, I'm a dude who's educated. I was like, I went to school, and I'm like, I'm not about the thug life at all. Except for you, Cardi B. Hell yeah.
Is she still about the thug life now? Because she's quite rich. I'm sure that's something.
No, she's not at all. She usually dates thugs or former thugs or rappers who used to be former thugs. Or just like a street essence kind of a thing. But I'm the good dude who you need in your life. I'm the dude your mama told you should have been married a long time ago. You need
He's
to
the security guard next door.
Exactly. All right. Don't know what that means, but hell yeah. Real quick. Well, have you ever had speaking of that? Have you ever had a girl next door, growing up or anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I wish I did, but
weird
no.
One. I had a weird girl next door.
How's she weird?
Well, so I was really into scootering, so I would be scootering out front, and she would be watching me from the second story. And I would look up, and she would hide, and then and I would be doing 360s and shit, and I would look up you see that shit, bitch, and then but she would always just stare at me, and then one day she came down, and I was too scared to talk to her.
If you'd hit a 720, you'd have been married.
Definitely would have, man. That is crazy as hell. Funny how you was scared of her, but you kept doing tricks for her, and then she came to talk to you. She worked up enough courage to come out of her room where she was quiet and just imagining y'all being together to come downstairs and speak to you, and you ran like a little pussy. Ain't that a shame?
Yeah.
Shame.
Well, he scooted off.
He scooted off. There you go. That's right. You didn't run. You scooted off. Poser. Where we at?
We got 5 more minutes.
Yeah, hell yeah, we cooking right now. I talk about a lot of stuff. We just going off randomly, stuff like that. So yeah, take advantage. Keep writing. I gotta just mention this real quick. Still headlining San Jose Improv, October 23rd, shows at 8 p.m. I'm writing to try to figure out what jokes I'm going to do that night. Like, I'm debating if I'm going to have 2 people with me or 3 people. I think I'm going to lean to 3 because I kind of want to do 60 minutes, but I kind of don't because I feel like there's a lot of new material to be doing, and I don't want to do old material. I'll probably do one old joke because I sell merch off one of my old jokes. I even got new merch, like, on the way. I'm going to show you guys after the podcast. We'll probably clip it up after this, too. But yeah, like a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different things. And like right now I'm really in the mode of because I want to do 55 to 60, right? But I don't want to do that if I don't have the material. So I know I have probably 45. At this point, I just have to remember the 45, and then I'm trying to expand it to about 55. And I'm just like, sometimes I have to remember older jokes that I don't tell as much, but I've never like told in front of people, right? The one thing that's keeping me, that I keep wrestling over with, right? Should I do COVID material that I wrote? But I know like friends and family will be there, so I'm like, I feel like this is like it's not relevant, but it's kind of relevant because I didn't talk about it. But I know it won't be like a huge thing I'm gonna focus on. Like I got other stuff, but that's like something I just want to say, like teaching it, like being at home teaching. Or people not respecting the fact that you're working from home, thinking like, why you ain't coming out to like do the groceries or get the groceries, bring them in, stuff like that, just busting in your room. So like all this like funny little random stuff. But then when I think of those stuff, it makes me think of other stuff that annoys me today. So I think I'm gonna keep using those like complex of jokes and then go off and write newer material from it, which like kind of spins off to more recent stuff. So yeah, but I'm like super excited. I can't wait for the headline to San Jose Improv. Is dope. My name's on the I'm actually writing my name on the marquee just like for the right to see like if I can if it's all possible. And I really want to pack that thing. I really want to sell it out because if I do, I know that's going to be a lot more opportunities for me, but also a lot more opportunities for people who I bring up. And that's the hardest part that I've always talked about. It's always the hardest part of where you who are you going to bring to the shows, especially for a place like that where unless you bring a host, bring a feature, and even give a guest spot. That's always the hardest thing because I'm like, all right, I really want to be successful with this. I want to be like Adam Ray, bringing all the merch and stuff like that. And then like, okay, I got my feature, I got my host, I even got some guest spots and really just travel with the homies. And that's always another thing. You always got to think about who do I want to travel with constantly around the country. Like I know you guys like, I always like said, I don't know if I could bring you guys. And you guys like, we're not there yet. But I know if I ever come back, let's say if I blow up in the next 2 to 3 years, hopefully in a year, because that'll be dope as hell. And then come back and do stuff in the Bay, you guys will probably be the first people I hit up. Like, or like come like.
I appreciate that. I'm also not offended that you would want to travel with me. I get it. I'm always shitting. I'm always getting into trouble.
Well, no, I just got people who's more experienced than you guys. That's
no,
what it really
totally,
is.
Totally.
So it's I'll be real. So I remember a homie of mine. I saw him headline a show on Thursday. Shout out to JD out in India. I remember I told him, I think it was about 8-9 months ago. I told him I was like, hey man, you've been growing, you've been doing good. I'm letting you know right now, people are starting to ask me, can you headline? And I'm gonna be honest, I told them no, but he's getting there. I was like, because how much time you got right now? I said, you probably got like, what, 15 to 17? He's like, I got 15 to 17 minutes. How did you know? I was like, I just kind of figured. He's like, I can maybe stretch it to 20, and I'm really stretching if I'm doing 25. I was like, yeah, the person who asked me, can you headline, was wondering if you could do 30. And I was like, I don't think you there yet, but I'm keeping it a buck with you right now. Keep writing, keep working, because you'll probably be there soon. And then he's headlined, I think, 3 times now. I remember he did a spot earlier this year at Gnarly Deli in Chico, and he said he did like 45, but he said he kept being heckled by this drunk dude in the audience, and he said he roasted him, and I was like, see, that's what I was talking about. I was like, if I would have booked you or told somebody you could headline early on, you might not would have known what to do with a heckler, but now you've been doing it a little bit longer. You got your material up. Now you easily did a 45-minute set. You can handle a heckler, you can roast him, it could be part of your set, and you can get back to jokes, but sometimes that's what it is. Like sometimes people like, oh, if they need 20, I can do 20, but let's say if you're doing a show and then a few other people on the show aren't doing well, and then now you got to bring the shit back up, and you nervous because like, oh snap, the show's not going well, stuff, and it takes a strong headliner to bring stuff up like that. So now he's headlining stuff, and I'm super proud. I'm like, hell yeah, that's what I told you. I think I told another one of my homies this recently, I think about a month and a half ago, like somebody reached out and asked if we could headline. And I was like, where you at right now? And he was like, I think about 2 months ago, he was like, I probably got a strong 20. I pushed it to 25, and then he got an opportunity to headline once. And I was like, how was it? He was like, it was dope. I was like, welcome to being a headliner. Welcome to the opportunities of being headliners. I was like, get a solid 30 or get a solid 25 and like play with some stuff like around here in the middle and stuff and just do stuff like that. And then I can, anytime anybody asks me if you can headline, I'll throw your name out with a few other people. And I was like, I always want my homies to grow that aspect. Because like, if you got 10 to 12, like, Jared, how much time you got right now?
Oh gosh, maybe 12.
Okay. How much about you, Noah?
Dude, I've been revolving 3 minutes. I would say probably I'm confident with like 5.
I was gonna say 7. I was gonna 5 to 7. Okay, so yeah. So like if somebody asked Jared, can Jared hairline? I'm like, no. I like just like nah. Because also I don't want to set you up for failure and have people looking at you and then like those salt on my name or whatever. And then like does Noah have a strong 10? And I'd be like, like he's shaking his head no. I was like, you probably do a guest spot, a strong 5 guest spot kind of a thing, right? And then that's just me helping y'all, but letting you know, hey, people like I think the best thing a comic homie of yours can let you know, people are asking me, can you do longer sets? Because I feel like, and I told them no, and sometimes people be like, man, what the fuck? Why you? I was like, no, because I know you're not there yet, and I want them to get because more opportunities gonna come 3, 4 months, 5 months from now. If you keep working and I keep seeing you do good, I can recommend people that do that. And then when you finally do get the opportunity and you kill it, now you open yourself up to more stuff instead of getting the opportunity, failing, and then now you're regressing. And then it might even mess with your psyche like, damn, do I really want to do this and all kind of stuff? But now when you're ready or even more than ready, and you get the opportunity, now you can get more stuff. They'll book you for more opportunities. They'll recommend stuff, and then it just kind of blossoms from there. So I think the best thing as a comedy homie I could do is tell you, hey, people are asking me, can you do this amount of time? I told them no, but I told them you're close. So keep working. And then when you feel ready, that's when I'll kind of throw like a little thing like there. Or you might even stumble into a situation too. Because that's how I stumbled on the headline my first time. I remember Kabir Singh saw me in April of, I think it was 2017 or something like that. And I did well. I really killed it because I had been hadn't Tommy T's in forever. But I had been working comedy scene in Santa Barbara. And then I came up, I had a new 12 minutes that really started to breathe and expanded it out. It was really 18 to 20. And then I went up there and killed it. So much so that I got invited back to do the weekend at Tommy T's. I got pushed to host. And I was like, this is a test. I know they want me to host because they're trying to see if I can, right? So I got to host. And then because Kabir really liked me, every time I had a show in the area, he would or a sack. He's like, you make it up a sack? I was like, I make up a sack. And the other times he kept using me. He was like, hey, I'm doing another show at Tommy T's, right? I'm doing another show at Tommy T's. If you do well, you can host the weekend just like Corde Snell did, right? And then so just gotta keep it honest with your homies. Do well, opportunities will come from it. And that's been this episode of the Corde Snell Show. Did you get your hour of Corde this week? Hope you did. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast. Also, if you have any questions, email us at thecordesnellshow@gmail.com. Have a great week, and we out.